Don't forget, 12:30 to 1:30, we on the road to success. We journey with Latifa Brown, better known as dancehall DJ TIFA.
So be strong, do no wrong. I need a bright light in my life. There'll be no fight. Oh, when I. She's not no eye type. She's alright. She full life eyesight, day and night. I need all in her arms to shine and keep my warm. Oh, and I'll be flowing on and on from dusk till dawn. Oh, she's the one who keeps I gone right through the storm. So be strong, do no wrong. I need the right life.
I've got a call today, knowing that this girl will come my way today. All my life I hope and pray for just one night with you, oh girl. You know the deal, you know I'm for real.
Who do you think of when you're lonely? Is it me you're thinking of?
Most definitely.
When you're lonely.
Been watching you from your window. I know you saw me smoking on my Indo, waiting for grandma to leave an Aunt Lindo to get so close just to show you all my loving go. So smooth, yo, you thought it was a free flow. I know you always think that X was a Brento. No, you know, girl, just let me know. Just come let me know.
Who do you think of when you're lonely? Is it me you're thinking of?
I thought you already know that.
When you're lonely, 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 lonely.
I've got a call today, knowing that this girl will come my way today. All my life I hope and pray for just one night with you, oh girl. You know the deal, you know I'm for real.
Who do you think of when you're lonely? Is it me you're thinking of?
Most definitely.
When you're lonely, 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 lonely,
Girl, I've been watching you from your window. I know you saw me smoking on my Indo, waiting for grandma to leave an Aunt Lindo to get so close just to show you all my loving goes. So smooth, yeah, you thought it was a free flow. I know you always think that X was a Brento. I know you know, pretty girl, just let me know.
Who do you think of when you're lonely?
The hour 12 noon to 1 p.m. is sponsored by Sunshine Snacks Peanuts Power Up with a crunchier, tastier, best value peanuts in 3 flavors: salted, fruit and nut, and honey roasted flavor. Power up today.
Lonely, 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 lonely,
Lonely, lonely lady.
Limited time, it will be fine. It's a while since I've been trying to get it on with you, but you keep on saying you don't know what to do. Don't know my you're always on my mind. Give it the time, it will be fine. It's a while since I've been trying to get it on with you, but you keep on saying you don't know what to do. Don't know much about you, yet you're always on my mind. So all you gotta do is leave it to time. Everything will be fine. Time alone can do anything. Time can move any mountain. Time will make you realize someone's in love with you. Baby, it's true. Oh. Skibidi-bidi-do, yeah. So what are we gonna do? Punchy-loo, now you know how I feel. Will you ever realize that I'm for real? Let me assure you, not promise you, I won't break your heart. Now you know it right from the start. So leave it to time. Time alone can do anything. Time will move any mountain. Time will make you realize.
Want to say big up to Debbie locked in. Big up to Barbara's Richie, Feda, Darren, Genius, Tommy and Archie. Big up to Gemma Lash Specialist.
Baby, it's true.
Big up to the Barbers, nail techs, hairstylists.
Oops, little baby. See, it's a while since I've been trying to get it on with you, but you keep on saying you don't know what to do. Make up your mind and give it a try. Now you know the score. 'Cause girl, I've been knocking your door. So leave it to time. Time alone can do anything. Time can move any mountain. Time will make you realize someone's in love with you. Baby, it's true. Oh yeah. Time alone can do anything. Time can move any mountain.
Benjamar is with a message. Indeed, time can definitely move any mountain. Don't forget that 12 noon to 1 p.m. on a Thursday is sponsored by Sunshine Snacks Peanuts. Power up with a crunchier, tastier, best value peanuts in 3 flavors: salted, fruit and nut, and honey roasted. Flavor power up today. All right, now you know what time it is. 12:30 to 1:30. We go on the road to success, and we'll journey with Latifa Brown, better known as dancehall DJ TIFA. I'm really looking forward to this conversation. You know, so many people have a rich story, and sometimes if we sit and talk and just have conversations, and other persons can get an opportunity to listen in, and they realize that, look, my situation, my challenges, my struggles are not as unique, because if more of us talk and have a conversation, we get to realize that our problems, when you decide that you're going to deal with your situation a particular way, from having a conversation. We're talking about big man and big woman conversations and situations. We're not talking about people who just want to hear your business so them can start this whole cascas. Not that kind of thing, but just to provide an outlet so we can express ourselves, so we can talk, and and that's just what it is. So of course, looking forward to Tifa, and I'm gonna play this song from Tifa, If I Could Fly. come true again. Latifa Brown, better known as Tifa, on your speaker box right now. Latifa Brown, better known as Tifa, overcame the odds to not only become a dancehall star but to also serve as ambassador for a number of corporate brands, local and abroad. Digicel, Hair Mansion, Fly Jamaica, and Stewart's Auto Mini brand ambassador, just to name a few. Today we journey with Tifa Brown on the road to success. On the road to success, the journey, a feature inside the Easy Skanking Show, geared to inspire, uplift, and entertain. 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. every Thursday. Today on the road to success, we will journey with Latifa Brown, better known as Tifa. Tifa, are you there? Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. What's happening?
Right? No, of course, today we journey with Latifa Brown on the road to success. Now, the only way to start, Tiff, is to start from the beginning. So take us back to your childhood. What was it like for Latifa Brown growing up as a child?
As a child, it was always fun because I had a lot of cousins. Initially, most people think I'm this little uptown girl, but initially I grew up downtown 91 Duke Street, where my grandmother had a very popular restaurant and bar.
Mm-hmm.
So when school ended, all of my cousins and everybody would come there to have dinner at the restaurant. So it was there, you know what I mean? So it was always fun and jokes and running up and down, and we'd always have singing and dancing contests. And it's a little bit different for us because even though I was at the younger stages of my life, I was never hungry. I was never, without clothes, without because of this business that they had downtown. So growing up was fun. Growing up was a lot of music, downtown and weekend or whatever, sound string up. And then my grandmother have our bar, so, round robin, and music was just always there. Music was just always a part of the family, and food, and, drink and gathering. And so growing up was pretty awesome.
All right. No, I suspect that you're an only child because you did say that you had a lot of cousins and stuff growing up. So what was it like as an only child, and how would you describe your parents?
I mean, it's weird because I'm the only child for my mom, but my dad has 5 kids. I have like 5 stepbrothers and sisters, plus I have adopted sisters, and then as I say, I have a lot of cousins. And when we move up to uptown Jamaica now, it's a sizable house, a big house. So a lot of my cousins lived with me, and these adopted sisters and these sisters. So the house was always full. So even though I was the only child from my mom, and people were always around me.
So you didn't really feel alone because, like you say, you had a large family.
No, I didn't. I was never alone per se. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, who first shortened your name? Like, who shortened Latifa? Who was the first person? You remember? Who decided that?
My mom. The thing about this woman never named me till like 3 weeks after my birth. She was walking around with me, calling me Baby Miller, as well as my mom's last name. For 3 weeks, and then she finally, for some reason, ended up down at the African Institute downtown, and she saw the name in the Muslim Bible or dictionary. I don't remember right now. And she called me Latifa, Tifa. And that's just a shortening from the 3 weeks after my born when she named me. That was just the name. That's what she called me. So she was the first person to actually call me,
and it just stick.
And it stuck since. Exactly.
No, my research shows that as a child you were also very active. You were a part of the choir, the dance club. Did you have a clear vision regarding who you wanted to be, or what you wanted to do when you grew up from a young age?
No, I did not. I just know that I love performing arts, and as I said, music was always around the family, and especially with my legs, my mother did not want me to, because when I left the house was when I knew I was different. My cousins and my auntie, nobody treated me different. You know what I mean? Or when people came to the restaurant and stuff, but then they were familiar with me. So when I left the house, once I went to school, that was when reality hit that, okay, you're a little different. You know what I mean? And she didn't want me to go into this little bubble. She's like, okay, you like singing? I'm going to enroll you to the choir. You like dancing? Okay, you're going to join Women's Dance Troupe. You want to act? Okay, go join Miss James' acting class. You know what I mean? She pushed me. She was just like, you're not handicapped, and nothing wrong with you, and anything you want, you can do it. So she was the one that literally pushed me.
So from an earlier age, so I like that. I like the fact that from you were very young, she made you understand that, look, whatever it is you want to do, you can definitely go ahead and do it. Can you remember or share with us a special memory or moment that you experienced with your mom?
There are lots of moments. I mean, not to sound corny or anything, but she's one of my best friends, so there are lots of moments. I mean, there are lots of moments. There's graduation. You know what I mean? This was when I was leaving prep school and going to high school. And she was just like, you're beautiful and you're no different, because I graduated in a wheelchair.
This is from prep school?
And I just remember her there encouraging me, like, this is just, this will be over by summer, and when you start high school, you'll be the cool kid, and don't fret about this. And because if you look in the picture, my face makeup. Because I'm like, I didn't want to be wheeled in a wheelchair, you know what I mean?
Tifa,
they had my legs.
This was in prep school? You graduated from prep school in a wheelchair?
Yes, I did. Started high school in a wheelchair. But she was there every single step of the way, and you're beautiful, and fix your face. And I remember because she crochets really, really well. I remember she crocheted this big flower clip that she put at the top of my hair, and I wasn't allowed to wear makeup, but she give me a little bit of blush and a little thing, and she was just like, "You're gorgeous. Don't worry about it." You know what I mean? That stuck with me.
Mm-hmm. Did you, at that point,
She
because
was always there to say, "Fix your face. Let's go. You got this."
I can just sort of imagine how that made the relationship with you and your mom like absolutely close knitted. Because was it a situation where you would rely on her on a regular basis, like whatever it is that happened or transpired at school, she would be your go-to person? Or you had a friend like outside of your mom too? You know, because you know how things are. Like
After a
children can be
while,
brutal.
after a while, it never bothered me. Like, after a while, I was like the Benfoot girl. Latifa, the Benfoot girl. Like, after a while, it never bothered me. And then it was weird because it's funny, like, how you watch those teen movies and you see the different cliques. Even though, like, you know, young and you got prep school, we had our little cliques. We had, like, the track star people, them, and the little, you know, the long curly hair girls, them from Uptown at the dancing. And I was just in a crew with the fat girl and the gay guy and the guy that was teen. And we were good. You know what I mean? After a while, like, we know where we belong. So belong, I was like, shit, like, you know, after a while, it was fine. Because everybody get used to everybody know. And then we had this Chinese girl that taught us karate, so we could have defend ourselves afterwards. You know what I mean? And we used to hang out with us afterwards. So, I mean, after a while, it never, as I say, at each level that you go to, where people don't understand, that is when the issue comes. So then when you start high school now, and then I started in a wheelchair because I did my final surgery, coming out of prep school, going into high school, and the foot got infected. I think it was the right foot. Yeah, the right foot got infected. They had put metal in the foot. And I don't know if it was sterilized properly or whatever, but it got infected. So it's because I was supposed to start high school walking. And I ended up starting high school in a wheelchair, and everybody was, so what are your foot? And then me face staring at us. So I was like, I'm blind. So it was a little bit different. Cause I start high school, and I remember everybody's coming from a different place now.
And teenagers can be brutal.
You have to explain yourself.
No, once you got to high school now and you're at Woolmars, what was that experience like for you, and how did your peers react to you, and were teachers supportive?
I mean, they were very, very supportive. It's crazy because it was myself, there was another girl, God rest her soul, Denise Brown. I think she had multiple sclerosis. And there was another guy that I had known from prep that had, he was a part of South City Singing Songbook with Ashley. When we got through to do that whole production, he was in a wheelchair also. He started high school. I remember he started with my boys also, but it was a little bit different because at the time, Jamaica wasn't really wheelchair accessible, or you know what I mean? Tend to look at those with disability, you know? So at the time, like, my mom was just, thank God she didn't have a little money. My mom just, you know, she built the ramp so them could have wheel me in the classroom. I couldn't do the classes on the second floor, but you know what I mean? In terms of getting around, like, she get the carpenter to come to school and measure the thing, and, you know, could have wheel and do what I need to do and get to where I needed to get to. I didn't do any PE until second term, though.
Tell us about...
I did PE the second term. No, I didn't do PE till the third term because the second term I was on crutches. But then I could cross the road, and you know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. Most of the times I was just sitting at the front of the class in the corner because, I mean, the legs couldn't bend, so they were like straight out.
Were you worried at any point that you wouldn't be able to walk? Did that cross your mind as a child?
No. No, I just wanted to get the process over with, but because that was my third surgery with regards to my legs. I just wanted to get the process over with because I'd done it before. You know what I mean? Once in Canada, twice in Jamaica, and I just wanted the process to be over. They finally figured out what was wrong the third time, so they would fix it, and then. By the way, I have a bone disease called Blount's disease. It affects 1 in every 20 million. So what happens is the inner bone grows faster than the outer bone. So you're basically looking like a crab. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody with rickets, where you have an extra bow or bandy leg. So your knees are basically close to the floor. every time they'd fix it, straighten it, and I'd go back to school, and then they'd grow. Each time I'd grow, they'd grow right back out. So what happened the third time is that they had to cut something in the hip. They basically had to stop the growth in my legs. So I have 11-year-old legs, and now 16-year-old top. So, I mean, it was cool because everybody was just like, yo, who's this girl? You know what I mean? Of course, you know, one and two of them ask the little questions that you don't want to answer or whatever, but it was fine. You know, you get little extra care, you get little extra attention from the teachers because, oh my God, she's in a wheelchair, the 2 foot them broke. But other than that, it never affected anything. I did well in school.
And you had your friends.
My second farm, girl. Yeah.
No, and we're going to get there. No, you did, like you've been telling us, you did 3 surgeries before you were able to fully walk again. Do you remember the first thing that you did once you were able to walk? No more wheelchair. You're in a school now, and like you say, at girl something. Can you remember the first thing that you did?
Honestly, high school never really mattered to me in terms of the surgery. I just wanted to walk. What I do vividly, I'm going to tell you a funny story. I love snow. And people think I'm crazy because I love snow. I love cold weather. It's weird. But when I did my first surgery, we did it in Canada, and I couldn't walk. And then I was at my aunt's house, and I was stuck in the basement because they never really want to move me. And it was winter, and I remember seeing the kids playing outside and making snow angels and throwing the snowballs, and but it just upset because you're watching the thing on TV in a Home Alone and them stuff there. You want to do it, yeah. And I stood when I walked. The first thing with the outside was go outside and the snow and make a snow angel. But high school was only going to be different though. High school was just ready for. I didn't want to swim because I did swimming. And whenever I did have a swimming pool at prep school with me, so I didn't want to swimming because I did love swimming. Like, we just ready to get on with life.
Well, listening to your story, Tiff, because, you started high school, as we mentioned, in an unusual fashion, but that did not prevent you from doing the things that you wanted to do. You were a part of singing, dancing, acting. What kept you motivated as a teenager, and in the face of everything that's happening, where a lot of persons in that situation could or might have crumbled? What kept you going and motivated? What was in your mind, like irrespective of what's going on?
My mom. As I said, mommy was always there every step of the way in terms of physiotherapy, in terms of, you know what I mean? Try to see if I can move the foot now. That's how my mother. If I can move the foot now. So, I mean, that, and then by that time, I had caught the full-on performance bug with the Salty Singing Songbook that came to Jamaica, and I was a part of that whole thing with Ashe. And then by my read second farm, I was just interested for re-audition because I was just they used Ashe as basically the outlet to get the people, but it was really the production from overseas. But then by second farm, Ashe was having literal auditions to be a part of the Ashe group, and to, you know what I mean, to join the whole academy and so on and so forth. So by that time now, and my mom was this. Dealing in the house with my mother was this. If they get good grades, then they get rewards. So as long as I took in a particular average, it was okay for me to go and do the whole Ashe thing and perform and tour, and you know what I mean? Because I've been touring since I was like 12.
Wait. Okay. Through Ashe. What was that experience? Yeah. What was that experience like, being a part of Ashe, and how did that impact your life?
It was a very awesome experience. That's where I learned about harmonies. That was where I learned that I was a mezzo soprano. That was where I learned to write songs. That was like they formally train you. That was where I learned about stage management and stage production and positioning on the stage and different dance techniques and learning to play instruments and learning to write music. And that was my whole adolescence. That was a whole world. You know what I mean? And I tell people all the time, like, it's crazy. Like, I'm doing this at TIFA now, but I've been doing this to these people since I was like 10 years old. 10 with Salty, and then 12 when I officially joined. Actually, I owe a whole lot to them in terms of the development as an artist. So, you know what I mean? Because a lot of the things that a lot of artists learn when they turn artists, I've been doing it since I was a kid. And I remember even, as I say, we have to strike the deal with mommy because they had a contract with Sandals. I was in third or fourth farm at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go. But the performance was like on a Thursday, I think. You know what I mean? The performance was like on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Mommy, I really, really want to go. I think this would be awesome. The performance is that you, but it's a school night. And I'm like, Mommy, but if I give you this average, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
Can
giving
I
her
go?
all the
So I
reasons
told
why you
Mommy,
have
and
to
it
go.
was exactly, and it was crazy because I'd go home, shower, get my stuff, my costumes, everything, go to actually take the bus. We drive to, I think it was Ochi at the time. We drive to Ochi. We'd probably have a meal. We'd hit the stage and perform. And then the bus have to drop home back everybody. I'd get home probably at like 4:30. Get up time in my house was 5:30. I'd get up the next morning and I'd have to go to school and do what I was sleep. But that was what I wanted because by that time I'd caught the whole performing bug. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So it would be
But
fair.
Mommy was just like, all right, you want to do this? Great.
So would it be fair to say then that your experience being a part of Ashe ignited that fire inside of you to become interested
The fire was
in?
already there. It basically just threw more gas on it.
Mm-hmm. No.
You know what I mean? It basically just threw more gas on it. Like I remember going to LA, we're doing tour, North Carolina, New York.
How
all
old
over
were
the
you?
states. I was like 14, 15 years old.
Mm-hmm. Wow. No, performing arts wasn't all that you were interested in because your extracurricular activities extended beyond the arts to include sports. No, you were leading goaltender for both indoor and outdoor hockey during fourth and sixth form. How did you get involved in hockey, Tifa?
I just thought it was cool. I saw them playing with the sticks and I was like, that's cool. You know what I mean? That's kind of cool. And joined the team, and then I was actually really good at it. It was just weird. Like, Sarah would have just pick up Mr. McCallum anyway in there. Sarah would have just put me down the goals, and like, when I move out of the quarter half there, so. And when I just scored the goals, like, it was just easy for me to just turn and score. Because everybody know party about it, Martina at the time, and especially when I got to sixth form was when I kind of like eased off performing because sixth form at Wilmot is basically co-ed. I wanted to enjoy school life, you know what I mean? Not just leave school as school done and gone changing your performing clothes, and I wanted to stay back at school and, get into trouble, like have a boyfriend, like, you know what I mean?
How did that go with your mom?
And then because in terms of having a boyfriend.
Yeah, did you have a boyfriend? Did you, get into the regular teenager things?
I did, and all of them, every single boyfriend I've ever had has met my mom, and yeah. She have our rules, you know what I mean? You could go out, but she don't have to chaperone and know what's on, you know what I mean?
Where are you going and that kind of
thing.
thing.
So, even though you're from so-and-so, some of me stay like
a teaser. No,
she's just like, yeah.
So high school was very normal and fun for Tifa. No, let's look at...
High school was fun and I was very popular. I was a part of like the match at the time. They knew me for dancing, I was singing. I was one of the big dancers them with Mystic. You know Mystic or dance?
Mystic, yeah.
Also.
Oh, neat. That's dance and Mystic, so you and her went to school.
Yeah. So, because Mystic anyway today. So we used to dance a lot as a part of like all of the sixth form. We used to help out with cheerleading and like everybody knew me and the whole crew. We used to call ourselves the What? Everybody know me and the whole crew. You know what I mean?
No, Tifa,
high school was nice.
From high school to college, my research showed that you turned down an international scholarship in order to study locally at the University of the West Indies. Why did you turn down this scholarship?
I liked hockey. I wasn't like in love with it. Others of us, because we're a really good team, others of us had gotten scholarships to go overseas to play hockey, and when I was looking at like the roster and whatever, like what it's basically my other school to play. Like, I didn't really, you know what I mean? It wasn't something I love, probably if it was a scholarship to Juilliard, then I'd have probably said, okay, you know what I mean?
But you didn't feel that passion
Performing
for
was always
hockey.
my first love. Exactly. Performing was always my first love. I had gotten, I think, 3 scholarships. And I was just like, nah. And then most of us were going to be at UA anyway. I was like, let me try this. You know what I mean?
All right. No, so
I don't think it,
while at the University of the West Indies, you major in psychology, obtaining a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology with a minor in human
psychology and
resource
HR.
management. Now, what life lessons did you learn on this journey?
a whole heap of lessons. Like, this is where you actually about. I think college is where you learn responsibility. And most of us are living off campus at the time. I didn't live off campus. I lived at my parents' home. Most of us were just getting our first car, so I have to learn how to budget, the gas money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We look at allowance, but we want to go to a party, we want to look like that girl. You know what I mean? So I have to balance. Like, that's where you learn responsibility. Like, you're an adult now. You're 18. You know what I mean? And I think at the time, I forget which club did I pop. So you want to go to the club on Wednesday night when you could have play, but you have this class in the morning. You know what I mean? Learn responsibility and how to balance. But other than that, I wouldn't change it for the world. I learned so much. I think I had my first real love
in college.
In university. He's the one that actually was like between sixth form and you. Like, what are you doing? You have such a beautiful voice. Like, you know what I mean? You need to start sing again. And then in carrying me go 5 hours to this makeshift studio with him and him brother. And, you know, recording my first demo up there. And, you know what I mean? So that was where everything really kind of kicked off, because you're meeting a melting pot of people. And then remember, you have union on a Thursday, and the artists them are come, and the producer them are come. So you're meeting people, and you're slowly becoming the person that you are supposed to be.
All right. On that note, Tiff, we're going to pause. I want you to hold the line. We have coming up cash pot. So listen up to your top draw dollars. Pick 2, pick 3,
No
pick
problem.
4.
Yeah, we cash pot.
Right? Hot pick and cash pot draws.
Up next, the Supreme Ventures Lottery Draw.
All right, so we're standing by. If you're just joining us, you're inside the Easy Skanking, and we are on the road to success with Latifa, TIFA Brown. We're having an awesome conversation that will continue after Cash Pot.
Lottery games. This could be your lucky day. Get your tickets out and let the games begin.
Good afternoon. It is Thursday, October 15, 2020. I'm Carrie Ann, and welcome to this afternoon's Supreme Ventures live lunchtime game draw. Now, before we begin, here's a quick look at our mid-morning winning numbers. Now, all live draws are supervised by the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Commission and observed by the independent auditing firm, PwC. And now, let's put some money in your top draw. Now, this afternoon's top draw jackpot has climbed to $600,000. So here are your winning top draw numbers. Here we go. And for money upon top of money, the first top draw number this afternoon is 14. Coming right after the number 14, we have 21. Now the third top draw number, what is it going to be? It is 17. Right after 17 comes the lucky number 5. And our final top draw number for $600,000 is counting down to the number 4. Now let's pick your play with our dollars game. So I hope you're feeling lucky. And this afternoon's winning lunchtime dollars numbers are coming right down. First in line, we have the number 1. Now, right after 1 comes 14. Now, the next dollars number this afternoon is 33. Next in line is another double, which is 22. Following 22, we have lucky number 26. Next up is a solid number 20. Now the next dollars number this afternoon is 28. What is next? Let's see. It is ball number 8. Now right after 8 we have lucky number 19. Following 19, what will it be? It is 7. And coming down slowly but surely we have 29. And of course we wrap things up this afternoon in our lunchtime dollars game with the number 35. And now for some easy winnings with our pick 2 game. Here we go. And the first pick 2 number is a 13, and the second pick two number 31. Once again, the winning pick two numbers are 13 and 31. Up next, you can play three ways, straight, mixed, and of course, you know it. Just back it up. Here we go. And the first pick three number this afternoon is 5. Now, the second pick three number is 3, and our third and final pick three number this afternoon, here it comes, it is 4. Once again, the one pick three numbers are 5, 3, and 4. It is now time to ton up your winnings, so get ready for a pick four game. And of course, you know it, the balls are bubbling up. So first up, we have a 6. Now the second pick four number is 7. The third pick for number this afternoon, what is it gonna be? It is another 7. And our final pick for number, here it comes, it is 5. Once again, the winning pick for numbers are 6, 7, 7, and 5. No, it's easy for wins, so let's spice things up with hot pick. Here we go. And the winning hot pick number this afternoon is 7. Congratulations to all our hot pick winners again. The winning number is 7. Let's get ready to play a cash pot game for Thursday, October 15, 2020. You live to play, but guess what? Can you win it? Now, are you ready to be a big cash pot winner? And let's see what this afternoon's winning cash pot number is going to be. Here we go. And this afternoon's winning cash pot number is coming right down, 23. Congratulations to all our cash pot winners again. The winning number is 23. Now, did you win it? Thank you for playing this afternoon's cash pot game. And now, let's try to mega your cash pot money. Let's go. And what will it be this afternoon? Here it comes. It is a white ball that was selected. Again, the winning cash pot number is 23. Lucky mark, black man. And of course, the white ball was selected. And now let's take a look at this afternoon's winning lunchtime numbers. And congratulations to everyone who won. So please do come back at 3 p.m. for more games you'll love to play. I'm Carrie Ann. Have a supreme afternoon.
Hope you were a big winner. Play your favorite Supreme Ventures games every day and tune in for our live draw 6 times a day at 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:25 p.m. on this station. Supreme Ventures, making winners every day.
That was the lunchtime top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 5 p.m. for another chance to win in top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pot draws.
When me use Island Fresh with aloe vera, it make me skin feel so much smoother. So if you want to feel better and smell fresher, use Island Fresh with aloe vera.
Manufactured by Island Products, 934-0666.
The time is...
It is now 5 minutes after 1 o'clock. If you're just joining us, you are inside the Easy Skanking, and we are on the road to success with Latifa Brown, aka Dancehall DJ Tifa. Now, Tifa, you were just talking to us about being at college and loving that experience where you actually obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology with a minor in human resource management. No, why did you choose psychology?
Funny story, I did not. I wanted to do management studies, but management studies was too, I guess it was overpacked at the time, and econ grade, past econ, but the econ grade was like an A, you know what I mean? So, and I was doing better in the artsy subject, so I got psychology, and I was like, let me do it.
Okay. I understand that. Now, what would you consider to be your most significant achievement while being at college? Because even though you get the degree, sometimes the experience and the life lessons and what comes out of it is far more impactful.
I would definitely say the experience. You know what I mean? People tend to feel like, oh, because you know, them kids gone to school in America. I don't think people give you the ratings that they get. Like they've literally packed a 4-year program into 3 years. You know what I mean? It's not. It's and campus is up to date. I mean, with anything, you're gonna have your issues. You know what I mean? But the life lessons and the people that I've met, remember that everybody come here in terms of from the different Caribbean countries. It's melting pot of students. You have students that come from the country. You understand? I come
from
like,
all over.
You're learning exactly.
No, I know initially.
It's like you're relearning. It's like you're relearning who you are again because something that might be, you know, your socialization is not necessarily that of somebody else because they might come from a whole different realm, and then you become friends. You know what I mean? You learn some of their culture, they learn some of your culture, and it's just as well as I said, this is where you learn responsibility. This is where you become an adult.
And speaking of becoming an adult, how bring us back to that transition, like after college and making the transition from college into the real world. What was that like, Latifa?
After I had one job because it's Jamaica National. Oh my God, I had one job. I did money transfer. I worked the summer and I worked the Christmas, and that was it. It was all about music after that. Like, we just catch the bug, and my cousin was like, you sure you want to do this? And a cousin that was very popular, like, in the entertainment scene, and know people. And he was just like, you sure you want to do this? And I was like, yeah. And he must say, yeah, it's easy, you know. And I was like, yeah, I want to do this. He said, all right, I'm going to make him with Suko. Met Suko in a gas station. This was even, I think, even before I left you. Met Suko in a gas station. It was before I left you. Met Suko in a gas station from Mullines Road. And it was just like, state your claim. And I'm like, well, I'm a singer, I'm a DJ, I'm all of my harmonies, I'm a write my own music. Just like that. And he was like, oh, you fancy, huh? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, I have to audition. I remember at that time, so they come from Jammy's days where you have to literally audition. And audition, and the rest is history. Like, at that time, you know, we used to hang out with Natalie and Timberlake. It's like they took the three of us under their wing. And
that's
TNT, but we were still putting out our separate projects, and you know what I mean? It was a whole learning experience. Timberlake was the first one to come out. No, I wouldn't even say that. Natalie, NBC, so she had a level of notoriety before me coming at the mix. And then Timberlake, they get their breakout song with Bubble Like Soup. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there and learning and seeing what's happening. You know what I mean? And transitioning and watching and learning production, because you know they're like super dope producers. I don't see them getting enough credit. People don't even understand the Billboard song them so could them make and mix. And I'm learning about mixing, and I'm learning like I could not have been at a better place. Most females cuss about you know,
the struggles and challenges.
Them. Like anybody that wanted to get to us had to get through them first. You know what I mean? A lot of the things that females have to go through at the beginning process. I never forgot you that, because we had these pit bulls that were protecting us. And they're showing us what the business is about, the goods, the bads, the ins, the outs. I mean?
So on the outside,
so, it just so happened that
continue.
After that, we ended up at Natural Bridge. It was 121, the Natural Bridge family, and I think Kingston 6 that was a part of that, was like right around the road from Zip at the time. So here enters Conscience, here enters Mr. Pepper, here enters. It was the whole melting pot of, and we learned so much. Here enters Uncle Mikey, that basically is one of the greatest studio engineers that ever came out of Jamaica. You know what I mean? Here enters all of these people at the beginning of our careers that we learned so much from.
Now, based on what you have told us about your mom and how protective she is of you, you know, especially throughout prep, high, and while you're going to college, what reaction did you get from your mother? Was this something that she supported wholeheartedly at first when you conveyed to her that this is what you want to do?
Up to this day, she still does. I mean, she supported, but not necessarily wholeheartedly. But we had a deal. The deal was that to finish college. She was like, "Yeah, I'm one pick me, and you're gonna get a degree." You know what I mean? So I held the bargain out. I wasn't like, and I did skip the whole college thing. I held the bargain out, and I gave her what she wanted. But even though she's like, you know what, I need a master's. But she knew that, it was always. And then the funny thing about it is that, especially Ashe, but growing up in the house with even my stepfather, is like you're learning so much and you're seeing so much, because most people don't know that my stepfather is the person that was responsible for Lady Soft. He's the one that brought you a Lady Soft. You know what I mean? So even growing up, it was a little bit different for me, because I just used to see my mother like go studio, go drop off some food. Or we had record stores at the time in Half a Tree and Spanish Towns. I was getting all of the new music. If I missed the CD, come out, Tara. You know what I mean? I had all of the tools around me.
And
it's
music
like,
at your fingertips.
They kind of didn't expect it. Not necessarily to say, okay, then here I DJ or whatever. You know what I mean? Because remember, I'm formally trained in the 3 arts. So I could have been a dancer. I could have gone into acting more if I wanted. But is not something she did fight.
No, you mentioned your stepdad.
And she supported. Huh?
You mentioned your stepdad. And was it your stepfather who did your first recording? And
no,
do you remember?
He was the one that brought me in. No, he was the one that, no.
He was, Tifa not
with,
hearing, he was the one that what?
No, he was the one that made me get into the business. As a matter of fact, he other than probably encouragement here or there, it might be something here and there. He was the one that really break me. I got separate management. I did this on my own.
No.
But that's a big him up to, because I got my experience like singing backup for like his other artists, you know what I mean?
What was that experience like? Who you did backup for?
You know what I mean? So
who you did backup for, and what was that experience like?
A couple of other people. We used to sing backup for them and used to dance and so on and so forth. So I must big him up for that, because it was a part of the experience. We didn't really work together until I was TIFA. You know what I mean?
No, you talked about being a part of TNT. You talked about your passion and wanting and just knowing that music is definitely a calling, to be a performer, to be all over it. No, the music industry, as you know, is filled with various personalities and egos. And initially you had said that, you didn't really choose psychology, but does your background in psychology better prepare you to deal with your peers and navigate the industry?
It definitely does. It definitely does. It definitely does. It definitely, in this game, you have to be smart. You know what I mean? And I was quiet for a long time, but everybody breaks at some point. But I definitely use psychology to get more out of this game. You have to. And it's funny, because I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday. Like, anytime you have a situation where there's a lot of money at stake, where there's fame at stake, you know what I mean? It is going to be a dog-eat-dog situation. And a lot of people don't even understand, like, there are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that the general public don't know. You just see where topics on RFM post on the Instagram page. You don't really know what going on behind the scenes. But everybody has an opinion. You know what I mean?
How
So it's dealing with... Continue, I'm sorry.
I was going to jump in because to bring up, I remember it was in 2018 that you in an interview you were quoted as saying 2017 was the darkest part of your career. What pushed you to that point? What made it so dark?
There's just a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And people always are trying to get rid of you. You know what I mean? But it was like a big team up, gang up. We didn't forget rid of her, no. Kind of vibe that was happening. You know what I mean? There were a lot of betrayals, I switched management, there was a lot of things going on, and I was at the end of, most people never knew, but at the time, like, I was in a big court case, Supreme Court case in New York. You know what I mean? And it was just a lot of things that were, I feel like I couldn't trust who I was around at the time. I feel like I couldn't trust that I was working with feel like, I mean, I get robbed. It was a whole heap of things that were happening at that time, music-wise. Like, everything negative pointed to music. Everything negative at that time in my life had to do with music in some sort of way. And I was just like, I remember that before I make it break me, let me just walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
But before I leave, let me just give my fans a final album. And that is how y'all got Corgos and Champagne 2018.
So you did not retire from the business, but you did articulate it. You did express that. I think it's a story that I myself even covered, that you planned on retiring. What actually changed your mind, and how did you deal with this type of darkness? Your back is against the wall. You feel like everybody is against you. You're seeing things happening in your inner circle, like you mentioned. You're being robbed. How did you
I just took
stand
some time
up?
away. Like, I've always been dual. Like, you know what I mean? I've lived here in the States. I've lived in Canada. Like, I've always had options in terms of living other places, and I just moved.
Mm-hmm. Give yourself a fresh start.
I needed a fresh start,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed to check myself out of the equation a little, because a lot of the times when you're in the situation, you can't see clear. Is when you remove yourself out of the situation and look into it, that you can actually see exactly what is going on. You can actually see how to maneuver, what moves next to make, who to mess with, who not to mess with. So I just took myself out of the situation for a little bit, and focused on some other things. But in focusing on the other things, it always brought me back to music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm over here doing this, but then here comes this cover girl opportunity. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm over here doing this, but okay, here comes this series that's gonna be on a major streaming platform. Like, the opportunities were coming in that made sense. It makes sense to you?
Of course.
So I decide more and leave, something come up. It's funny because I explained it yesterday. It's like you're in a relationship with a man, and you love the man, but the man just not do it for you. You know what I mean? And them a beat you, it just not do it emotionally for you. And then one morning you decide, okay, I'm done. But tomorrow now you lie down in the bed and you look funny, man, him just look cute, and you decide, say, I love him, I'm stick with him a little bit. That's the same exact relationship I have.
Tiff, me no love your analogy, because friend him a beat you, walk away. Whether him look cute, walk away, no to abuse. Yeah, me no love the analogy there, but I do get your point, which is leading me to my next question. Right, but for instance, you made mention of it to say that, the cover girl, being an ambassador for CoverGirl, which is the first brand ambassador for the Caribbean for CoverGirl, representing Jamaica.
Exactly.
And that's a big deal for you. So was this major endorsement then that reignite the fire in TIFA, why you change your mind about retiring?
Not only that, but in being away and recording away, and it's like out of the whole realm of things, like it just gets a different vibe. And then I was offered an opportunity to write for like people, big artists, the States, and it's like, maybe I could do this. You know what I mean? Maybe I could write the songs. Maybe even if I get the Billboard song myself, I can write the Billboard song for other people. It's like other things presented itself. But they presented themselves that's still connected back to the music. You see, but the music is never the problem,
What is the problem?
Creating the music and making music is never the problem. I could sit in my house and write and record 100 songs. That's not the problem. The problem is the people that we have to deal with, the industry we have to deal with. That is the problem. Music is never the problem. We produce, Jamaica produces musicians and athletes. We're not short of that. We're not short of artists. We're not short of athletes. But it's just the situation that they get into and the people that they have to deal with that determines the outcome.
Let me ask you this. Not only have you done well for yourself, but you have definitely contributed to the music. Do you feel like you get the respect you deserve from your peers?
At this point, it don't matter.
Why?
Tell you the honest truth. At this point, it don't matter. A lot of people are like, oh my God, you're so underrated, and oh my God, at this point, it don't matter. Because the sad reality is, you have one and two people that are real, but the majority of the people just follow hype. It's all about who's hot at the moment. Oh my God, you're so this, you're so that. It's all about who's hot at the moment, or who's doing something for them at the moment, or who they're seeing at the moment. You know what I mean? So unless you're a die-hearted fan or a real person, it don't matter. Those people don't matter. Because if Gully but besides him, I got at again. That's going to just be the wave. You know what I mean? If nobody cannot cross it besides saying, eat this. Yeah, eat this why I run it. That's just the sad reality is that's just what we say. The majority of people, it's all about the hype.
So given your background in psychology and knowing what you know, like ultimately people will always be people. And the truth is everybody is different and everybody is unique in their own ways. And people are going to do what they want to do. You can only control you and what you do and how you react to situations, circumstances, and individuals. Knowing what you know, how do you know approach the business, having gone through a point where you thought you're going to retire, you're done with the business, the darkness, that kind of thing. How is Latifa Brown now?
Great. You said something great, Kishima. I make music for the 500,000 people on Instagram that follow me. I don't make music for everybody else. The people that want a little dirty comments to make out, I don't make music for them. I need to focus on the 500,000 people that are there. You understand where I come from? Those are the people that I need to focus on. The people that want to hear from people, because at the end of the day, as you said, not everybody's going to like you, not everybody's going to like your style, not everybody's going to like how you look. But the ones that support you and are there for you, those are the ones that you give your time and attention to. Those are the ones that you continue to feed your attention to. You know what I mean? I was in Atlanta, I think, 2 weeks ago, a packed house. Mind everybody was so much to go. But you have everybody have them fans, and everybody have them song, and everybody have that song that did something for them, why them love you. You know what I mean? You just need to continue to feed those people and build the fan base that want to hear from TIFA. You know, this is about nobody else.
And stay on your journey. No.
Exactly.
No, you did
if
not.
Somebody affect you, or try to hurt you or harm you or disrupt your business, then that is a different case. But other than that, I've always been the type of person in my own team. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? At some point, when you're in this, you have to remember, being a public figure is hard. And you can be a regular person, and then you are the hot girl within the 200 Facebook followers that you have. You understand where I come from? I have to face the world. It's two different scenarios and situations, and at some point, you break. If you've been at the business and fight for 10 years and hold it, at some point you're bound to lose it. Most people take smoke feeds. Most people turn sex addict feed. Most people take drugs feed in a music. Some of them commit suicide. You know what I mean? And I was holding on to a lot of things for 10 years.
No.
At some point you're going to, but other than that, what are you going to do? Are you going to feel sorry for yourself, or are you going to get yourself up and keep it moving?
Tell us what you did.
It would be the last time. I just took some time, and I just refreshed, and I just picked myself up and kept it moving. You know what I mean? I just make sure I set up certain things like other businesses. You know what I mean? You know, if I have a plan B and if I have other income. And I'm sure 2020 taught a lot of people that you cannot depend on one income. You know what I mean? I was lucky to have set up stuff from before. Just focused on building me in all areas, not only TIFA, but Latifa too.
Tell us about some of your business ventures, Tifa, because recently there was like a movie popping up with Tifa. What can you tell us?
Repeat that. I didn't hear the latter part.
I'm saying there were talks about a movie that would feature Tifa, And you're talking about
Oh,
2020 and people having getting seeing now that you need more than one
we were supposed to
income.
start filming earlier this year, but Corona happened, so the filming got pushed back. So now they're just trying to organize like everybody's schedule, etc., etc. So that's still on the table. I've been approached to do a reality series. There's a lot of things on the you know what I mean? It's just how the world works and what happens because it's still excuse me, personally, I feel like until this election call in the US, we're not going to know what's going on with the rest of the world. You know what I mean? And I think that's what everybody's basically waiting on also. But it's definitely in the works. You'll definitely be seeing me on one of the major streaming platforms. I'm in negotiations right now for a reality series. More releases to come. I just dropped a song last week Friday all night long with DJ Cash from Atlanta. I have one more release to come out for the year. I've just been working this whole time.
Do you think that the success that you have garnered have allowed you to break down dancehall or societal barriers? Like you didn't allow no disability to get in your way. You're hardworking. You're dedicated. You know, you keep pushing. You keep going, irrespective of the negativity.
I just know what I want. I'm a woman that knows what she wants. That's what I want. Anybody would tell you like Sagittarius people, December people, we just know we just work. Nothing comes easy for us, but we not stop. I never stop. If you block this door, make a see if we can jump the fence. You understand? I come around and put barbed wire up on the fence, make a see if we can friend the security guard. If we can't friend the security guard, make a see if we can get one hot air balloon and jump on the roof. That's just me.
You're going to find a way around.
I don't want people to dictate to me what my destiny should be. No.
Makes sense.
I dictate to me, and God dictates what the destiny should be. So because you feel like you might have a strong it's this person or it's that person. No. Every lock have a key, Kishima, and every knot can pull.
No, I was reading, as I say, every knot can pull. I was recently reading an article, and you were quoted as saying that you were remaining celibate. What led you to this decision?
And it was like a big deal. I normally just take a break after relationships. I'm not the type of person to like jump from relationship to relationship. It just happened that it go over a year. You know what I mean? It just happened that it go over a year, and I especially during quarantine got so much in tune with self. Them normally say when you celebrate your third eye open. I got so much in tune with self and what I needed to do and the type of person that I want for my next relationship and the type of life that I want. Just people don't understand, especially if it's good sex, it clouds your judgment. You could be with the most horrible person, but because you put it on fire, you love it. But it's horrible. You know what I mean? And most people that don't know how to control themselves or control their feelings towards the action, they end up getting messed up, especially we as women. And I just wanted to take time to balance back. But you have to remember, when all of this was going on, that fiancé or relationship ended in this whole turmoil also. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So that was I also had to deal with. I was dealing with a breakup as well as people trying to destroy my career. Right.
That's a lot.
Everything at once. It was a rough period. So I just took the time to focus on me. And I never wanted to bring that baggage to somebody else.
On the note of relationship, how do you balance family life, and are you just doing TIFA now, or there are plans in the pipeline, the home, the children, the picket fence? What's happening?
If it happens, it happens. We're living in 2020. Like, if I want to buy a baby, we can't go buy a baby. I get a surrogate. That's just the reality of life right now. You know what I mean? I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling it in. If I know that I want a family, though. So I'm not about to be anybody's baby's mom.
Which is right.
Man, where we can feel our life together. And if when I get that, I just suck. It's just one of those things that everybody's going to get the picket fence with the nice house and the Prince Charming, you know what I mean? Some of us are meant to be the auntie that spoils her nieces and nephews. But if the relationship comes,
all right, well,
family life comes, like, I'm good.
It's good that you're open. Now, what's your charity?
In terms of,
how do you give back? How do you serve? How does
I don't have
TIFA?
a personal charity, and I do a lot of giving back under the quiet. I do a lot of giving back under the quiet. Like I give equipment to the Olympic team. I just do when I, you know what I mean?
I understand.
So it's not something. Yeah, it's not something I'm talk about because when I do it for the press, like when I invite press to come, when I give and do things and I give and the things all the time. I just do it out of the goodness of my heart. It's not a tax write-off for me.
No, your passion, dedication, and drive are good traits to succeed. What's next for Latifa Brown?
Well, I mean, I still want my dream. I still want to see myself at the number one spot on Billboard if it happens, you know what I mean? But me singing the song or me writing the song for somebody, that was always my dream. My dream was just always to be that Jamaican female ambassador that reached the top of Billboard, you know what I mean? I wanted to be the Jamaican Shaggy or Champagne that did it, female-wise. You know what I mean? Since Patra, nobody not really take a spot there. Like, Patra was, like, up there. And that's what I want. That's what I always wanted to do. It was never about me being queen, princess, France, Syriac. I could care less. I just wanted to get here as that female. You know what I mean? So that's still my dream. And if it can happen, I'll be grateful and happy. You know what I mean? And as I say, even if I'm not singing the song, I would love to be the person that wrote the song.
No, what advice?
But other than that, I just want to live a happy life. Yeah?
All right, and that's fair enough. I mean, happiness is awesome. Happiness is the new rich. You know, not a lot of persons with money can say that they're truly happy. No, what advice would you give to someone who has a desire to become a dancehall DJ and them hearing Tiffany talking about the darkness and the industry and that kind of vibe and your experience, especially a female? What advice would you give to somebody coming in?
Listen, especially now, you got to have a thick skin. Because I know, like, one time we have to wait for the newspaper or the magazine to know what's happening. Like, when I get things in a real, if you book your tour, I get it in a real time and the whole world is going to laugh at you. You know what I mean? So one is, if you're going to come into this, you have to have a thick skin and you can't make everything bother you or demotivate you. And two, from you believing in yourself and you believing in your talent, go for it. As I said to you before, have a key, every knot can pull. There's no formula to music. It's not just your time or just your time. You know what I mean?
And
so, go for it.
And finally, Tifa, we all procrastinate at some point, right? What advice would you give to the person listening to the radio right now who is standing in the way of their success?
Get up. That's all I never said to them. Get up. I never said nothing else. Get up. Get up and go for it. You're not going to know unless you try. You're not going to know unless you get up.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Latifa Brown. It was absolutely...
Thank you, Kashima. It was
inspiring.
You go, girl.
Thank you so much, Tifa. Always a pleasure to have you. All right, if you're just joining us, you missed out on...
Much love to my RFM family.
All right, so you two have a fantastic day, Tifa. That was Latifa Brown, better known as Tifa. Of course, you know, Tifa, she overcame the odds to not only become a dancehall star, but to also serve as an ambassador for a number of corporate brands, local and abroad. You just heard her story.
Them nobody think me who that they are watching now. All them fights and all them.
Ambleton Ray says, lovely motivational overview, a determined woman.
Them lift fist in me face. All them try to duplicate, I cannot be replaced. Now they never know. They never know. Me believe in a thing called overcome. Who God blessed, I will be done. They never know. They never know. Me believe in a thing called overcome. Who God blessed, I will be done. Then I try kill me, never know I'm powerful. My blessed Father watch over me, my grateful. All the money where them spend my lifeline, them off the end. All the evil where them do, them know it not come true. Because me protected, me know my heart clean. Judge, I not gonna make me suffer by the hands of the wicked determination.
Barry Back says absolutely loving the interview with TIFA.